A controversial cost-cutting rule hits the NASCAR Truck Series, and watch out, Cracker Barrel, the Supercars champion is returning to America. Welcome into the Breaking Bob channel. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving holiday. I know I stuffed myself silly. Couldn't even do a video yesterday. I had too much ham in me. But if you're Riley Herbst, I don't disagree with your Thanksgiving take, but he then followed it up with tacos on Thanksgiving. That right there is blasphemous, just downright sinful. If you're new here, though, hit that subscribe button. I'll keep you in the loop for all things NASCAR and some Thanksgiving takes along the way. But let's get into it. We missed a lot over the holiday break. It was announced that NASCAR's docu-series on Netflix will be unveiled to the public and on streaming for Netflix in April of 2025. Confirmed by executive producers Jackie Decker and Tim Mullen, there'll be 5 episodes at 45 minutes each in the month of April for Netflix. The first season debuted in February alongside the NASCAR season starting, but I guess Netflix's schedule was too packed in February this time, so they had to push it back to April. If you ask me, though, it is kind of tough timing, though. That's 10 races into the season in April. Just, it's a great way to build up the season with the Daytona 500 in Atlanta as those first 2 races if you have the Netflix show going there. But I know it will still bring eyes to NASCAR, so any growth is good for the sport, if you ask me overall. Moving on, it was confirmed that 2024 Supercars champion Will Brown will be coming back to America in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2025. Brown confirmed on the Supercars Drivers Only podcast that he will be returning to the States for up to 2 races in 2025 alongside Richard Childress Racing in their number 33 open entry that has had Brody Kostecki and Will Brown race it in the past. Brown confirmed that he'll be racing at Circuit of the Americas and trying to get in that 33 car for Chicago Street Course as well. It's become such a marquee event already in the 2 years that Chicago has been run. It's hard to get an open spot, so Will Brown is trying to get that 33 car, but still not totally confirmed. He said he might have to drop down for Xfinity in the second division. You saw Shane Van Gisbergen and Kyle Larson just battling back and forth at Chicago last year, one of the battles of the year overall in NASCAR as a whole. But glad to see Will Brown back in NASCAR. Again, the 2024 Supercars champion also did race at Sonoma last year, P3 in practice before electrical issues mired his weekend there. Seems like that 33 car Richard Childress Racing just always has something go wrong with it, with all these guest drivers in it. Brody Kostecki, Will Brown, just to name a few. And Will Brown, if you're watching this, don't worry, I did confirm there are multiple Cracker Barrels in both the Austin and Chicago metro area. So don't worry, your visit to the States will be good. And finally, NASCAR announced a cost-cutting measurement for the Truck Series that has been met with controversial reaction, to say the least. NASCAR announcing a new mandate for all pit crew members over the wall and in the garage. It has to be team-branded fire suits that are submitted pre-season to NASCAR. They get 1 per year, no sponsorship branding allowed except for the NASCAR branding. Of course, the Craftsman, Sunoco, Goodyear, NASCAR branding, because they have to get theirs in, of course. Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin were quick to voice their frustrations regarding the new rule, although I will note Matt Weaver of Sportsnaut, who wrote the original article, did note that NASCAR said it was between NASCAR and a committee of 7 teams in the Truck Series that made up the rule. NASCAR just approved it. So a few trucks teams did propose the idea. If you ask me, though, the sponsorship is what makes the branding on the fire suits. It what gives these teams identity. When you see Spire Motorsports come to the track with just Spire, or Trackhouse with just Trackhouse, Colleague, yes, it's the team identity, but what does the sponsor really get then? Yes, you have it on the car, but when you see the team celebrating in pit lane in the fire suits, complete with the branding, it gives that market value that those sponsors are looking for. Yes, it's on the car, but in today's day and age, there's no activation. It's just another way to cost cut. And I understand for the small teams, it makes sense. For the bigger teams, though, it makes sense to do it. You have to spend money to make money. And for the sponsors to partner with those big teams, they get those perks like the sponsor on the fire suit. So I just think for NASCAR, I understand that it is cost cutting for the smaller teams. Yes, it'll make sense, but I just don't love it mandated across the board there. It's just another, with this lawsuit going on with 2311 and NASCAR and Front Row Motorsports, just another way where NASCAR is just controlling the teams a little bit more than they probably need to be. Although, like I said, with NASCAR's update, 7 teams were part of that panel that proposed it, so it wasn't like it was just thrown on them. But again, let me know your thoughts down below about the news covered today, the Truck Series with that mandated fire suits, Will Brown back in NASCAR, and NASCAR's Netflix series debut, Season 2, just 10 races into the season. Again, if you're new here, like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton here. We'll get through this off season together as we chug along. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Again, thanks for watching.